Think it's finally over. Advice. I got married to my partner of 7 years last summer. In February I found out that 4 months into our marriage she'd had a one-night stand with someone on a drunken night out, embarked on a 3-month affair with a work colleague and was sniffing around another man on Facebook. I also found out that she'd joined a secret Facebook group and was saying some pretty essity things about me and my children. I have 2 from a previous relationship and she has 1. We have different approaches to parenting, both have good points, both have bad points. The one-night stand and the potential Facebook lover were members of the private group. Been through all the emotions from despair through anger through depression, you all know the sort of thing. Still loved her very much and realized that I had a big part to play in her decision to do what she did. We were both heavy drinkers and my wife was and still is on antidepressants. I believe she had a mental breakdown. This all occurred within the same 3 months before I found out. So, rather than throw the towel in, we had an honest conversation and decided to see a counselor together and stop drinking. Neither of us have touched a drop for 4 months. She told me everything and, rightly or wrongly, I believed most of what she told me. Her saving grace that brought me back from the brink of an instant divorce was that she didn't enjoy the 3-month affair and didn't even like the person she was with. She was also blind drunk when she had her one-night stand, and this 3 months of madness was a result of her not getting enough emotional and physical attention from me. I completely dropped the ball emotionally for a long time, and I completely blame myself for this, although I never felt wanted in the relationship. But I also know she should have spoken to me like an adult instead of cowardly betraying our marriage. The counseling helped a lot, and we decided to lay some ground rules down and make an effort to work things out. She also saw her own therapist for a while, but that wasn't much use. I truly believed she was sorry. 6 months on and I still think about it every day, and on some days I don't manage my feelings very well, which leads to rows and week-long sulks. But mainly things have been getting slowly better. I managed to forgive her. I think. One other factor that I should mention is that I found out about this from some text I read on her phone between her and one of her female friends, my friend at the time also. It turns out her friend was also cheating behind her husband's back, albeit far more viciously and deceitfully, and between them they were encouraging and congratulating each other behind our backs. Her friend had also tried to get my wife involved in a foursome with her and 2 of the men her friend had been seeing. When I found out, I gave her friend a chance to come clean with her husband. She was too much of a coward to do this, so I called her husband and told him what had been going on. However, I spared him the details. As far as I know, they are still together. She is still lying to him about a lot of stuff. The reason I mention this is because one of the conditions I laid down after counseling was that she was not to contact this woman again. I think she's dangerous, toxic, and I feel nothing but revulsion for her. My wife half-heartedly agreed for a while. I've even threatened the friend that if she makes contact I will tell her husband everything, which would be sure to finish her marriage. I'm not proud of my behavior, but I was desperately angry and in full-on relationship survival mode. 4 months after counseling and 6 months after D-Day, things took a turn for the worse this weekend. I got very upset because our S-time life has now dwindled to the point of her going through the motions. I am far from the perfect husband, but she's always been very selfish in bed and, in 7 years, has never once made me feel wanted or desired in that way. At least I could live with this, but magnified through the lens of her infidelity. It's extremely hurtful. Last week she admitted it's because she was lazy. This blasé admittance really hurt and put things into perspective. She has made little effort to address her actions, at least none that I'm aware of, and seems content to brush it under the carpet. I've given her 4 months to at least make an attempt to understand herself and how I have been affected and say something, but it's been 4 months of virtual silence around the subject. I did get a text a few weeks ago telling me she was sorry for what she'd done to me. As you're all probably aware, when the cheater wants to brush it under the carpet, it's sickening. It confirms that the guilty party doesn't empathize or understand what the victim is going through and the damage and trauma their actions have caused. And how can anyone be remorseful if they can just forget it? I told her on Friday that I wanted to go back to counseling with her because I wasn't happy, to which she replied, "No, it's pointless." I asked her if she'd been in touch with her friend. She admitted she had. I lost my temper at this point and threw a cup at the wall. At that point my wife burst into tears and said she thought it was best if she moved out and that I deserved better. We've not spoken since. I think I've spent enough time dealing with this morass of excrement and I just want to get on with my life, even though I still love her and we had so many good things going for us despite everything. But why do I feel so bad about it all? I'm angry at myself for being pathetic and weak. I feel humiliated. I've only told a couple of people because I am so embarrassed. If any of my friends had been treated like this, I'd be the first to tell them to leave their relationships well behind. I'm sure I'm in denial. I wish I could just fall out of love WTH her. But it just doesn't work like that. Just dumping my thoughts here to help me through this and regain some sanity. I feel terribly damaged and I know I will always have trust issues with people from now on. Thanks for that, partner. My self-esteem is non-existent and I have no idea how to start getting it back. Would appreciate anyone else's thoughts and advice. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, but why do I feel so bad about it all? I'm angry at myself for being so pathetic and weak. If this had happened to any of my friends, I'd be the first to tell them to leave the relationship. Everyone here will understand why you feel like this, but please try not to beat yourself up. How you reacted in all of this is normal for a human being who loves someone. You wanted to give her the chance to be the woman you thought she was. There's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of in that. You feel bad because you took a chance on her and she let you down. You wanted her to show you that she loved you and that she cared about hurting you so badly, but instead she made you feel worthless, like you don't matter at all. You put your effort in but she refused to meet you. All of that is shocking to discover about the person you married. I feel like I'm in denial. I wish I could just fall out of love WTH her. But it just doesn't work like that. You're totally right that it doesn't work like that. Feelings don't switch off. There's a big cognitive dissonance between the woman you want her to be and the woman she actually is. This is going to take time and it's going to take a lot of strength from you. But I guarantee you that you'll be much better off without someone around who makes you feel so terrible about yourself. For now, I'd suggest that you get into therapy of your own, to process what you're going through and to have someone there to support you in finding your strength to move forward. If you have a close friend to talk to, then speak with them. Everything changed for me when I finally talked to 2 of my sisters and told them what my ex had put me through. Their horrified reactions were like a sudden slap in the face. I woke up to the reality of what he had done to me and suddenly it became easier to get him out of my life. When she's gone, you'll still feel angry and upset. That's okay. At that stage, I'd say get the anger out of you as much as you can with movement. Walk, run, go to the gym, scrub your house down furiously, throw out the things that remind you of her. If after that you crash, then allow yourself to crash for a little while. Talk to people. Talk to us here. Take things in baby steps. Hide away from the world for a while. Watch trashy TV, and comedies to make you laugh. Sleep as much as you can. As you begin to find your feet again, focus on yourself. Meditate. Work out. Eat well. Work on personal growth. Learn what you need to be happy. Allow your experience to teach you to become a better person, the complete opposite of the kind of person your wife is. Foster your relationships with family and friends. Be good, kind and patient with yourself. Most importantly, work on your self-esteem. You deserve better and you should expect better from any future partner. There are so many resources for this. Read The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Branden. Read On Happiness by the Dalai Lama. Read Mark Mannon's website on dating and relationships and personal growth. Learn what it means to have strong boundaries and high self-worth. You will be okay, lots of us have been through this and survived. The day my ex moved out, I collapsed in a furious heap of tears and had no idea how my life would ever feel the same again. But it's getting better, slowly, and I cannot tell you how wonderful it is not to have someone who makes me feel like utter acid around all the time. I feel much freer and much more at peace with my life. I think you're making the right choice. Your wife told you herself that she was lazy. She doesn't want to fix things. Let her go. You deserve someone who will care for you in the same way that you care for them. Start right here, yes, with this article on how you deserve nothing less than someone who is all in for you. Wishing you well, X. Op answer, thank you for that. I know you are right. Just to add, my wife is leaving because she says I deserve better. I know it's eating her up as well, and perversely I just want to hold her and make her feel better. Pathetic. I don't have any good friends in the near vicinity, hence the reason I've posted here. Replies like this really help. Thanks again. Redditor 2, what a prize your wife is. Advice. GTFO of this terrible marriage and find a good woman. Millions of them out there. Redditor 3, sir, I feel for you, she is lazy and will wake up when you move on. That should be too late.